Wow, good evening. I haven't been here for a while. I've been doing some singing, some rejoicing, some just relaxing, and some work. Yes, I had a chance to visit with Dr. Joe Suderman this morning. Well, visit, yes, he did the treatment, and I've been rather concerned about my back and things that weren't going quite the way I wanted them to go. But today he assured me that I didn't have a problem with my hip. There was no fracture. Both hips worked the same way. Pretty good for an old guy. So he gave me a treatment and put some of those muscles back in place. And wow, I can walk much better than I have been for the last while. So how are things going for you? No, we can talk and say all kinds of things. There's people complaining and using foul language and all kinds of things about what's going on and what should be going on and what isn't going on. Well, I did some searching today, soul searching, and I found some promises. Yes, they're probably promises that you've heard over and over again. But let's just share them with me once more. Here are 7 promises of God. The first one, I will be with you. Yes, he told Moses that when Moses in the burning bush, he didn't want to go to Pharaoh because he knew that Pharaoh wasn't a kind man. So finally God convinced him to go. He went, and Pharaoh said no. No way, and he made those Israelites work just a little bit harder. They didn't like that. They started to murmur. They started to complain. Well, this isn't all about Moses, but God also said, I will protect you. You know, in this pandemic, things are really tough for many, many people. I like what some people are saying that, despite all the negative things around us, with our family, we can continue to be positive. Thank you, Don Cruikshank, for your comments. I will be your strength. Wow, I had so little strength in the last 4, 5, 6 weeks. I fell December 20th. It's been a long road, and I don't believe the road's over yet in many ways. I needed the Lord's strength because mine continued to fail. I will answer you. Wow, isn't that something? Yes, but he answers at his will. He answers at his beck and call. He answers at his timing. And he answers what he believes in all his wisdom is the best for us. Sometimes it's way off our own base, but he answers. I will provide for you. Yes, he does continue to provide. And yes, I have to think about those people that aren't getting the provision that so many of us are getting. Let me tell you, he does provide. He provides for you and for me. I will give you peace. The peace that passeth all understanding. I remember when I received the assurance of salvation. I remember when I was able to bring to light for my great wife, Judith, back in 1985, after she had spent some time on the couch, wondering what was there to life. Well, she didn't maybe quite wonder that, but she'd given up a position as a director of nursing at the Ebenezer Personal Care Home, and she loved it. But we had a little baby girl that came into our life. Well, so much and so good as that was, Judy was not feeling the way she always felt. So I asked her, what's the issue? And she determined for me that she was afraid of dying. In all God's wisdom and calling upon him, I asked him to reveal to me the assurance of salvation. I don't think I asked it in those terms, but I was able to share with her that together we walked forth from that day on, knowing that if we died this next instant, we would be in heaven. And I've sung the song, "What a day that will be when my Jesus I shall see." Wow, that last line is when she passed into glory. Not a grimace, not a sigh, just closed her eyes and stopped breathing. What a day that will be when my Jesus I shall see. I shouted, "Absent from the body is to be present with the Lord." Amen and amen. The peace that passeth all understanding is what Jesus wants to give you today. The final one in these 7, I will always love you. God sent his only begotten Son to spend 33 and a third years, give or take, on this earth. He spent 30 learning the trade, spending time with his Father in heaven, praying, learning, teaching. And then, when the time came, with heavy heart, in the Garden of Gethsemane, he asked 3 times, "May this cup pass from me?" Well, but not my will, but thine. And he took the cross, and he couldn't carry that cross. Simon did. And he went onto that cross. But he didn't give up his life. Or, yes, I should say, they didn't take his life from him. He gave it up. And when he died on the cross and the blood flowed down, that blood was for you and for me. The sins of the past, the present, and the future. What a glorious day. The 7 promises that I found on the internet today. I will be with you. I will protect you. I will be your strength. I will answer you. I will provide for you. I will give you peace. And I will always love you. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. 20 minutes ago, I didn't know I was going to be doing this. But God asked me to, in all his wisdom, to share this with you today. May God bless you and keep you and shine his countenance upon you and give you peace. Good night. Amen. Bless you.